In today's video, we'll discuss a very practical topic for factories in Bangladesh. How can factories significantly reduce fuel costs for steam production? In Bangladesh, many factories are currently using diesel oil or natural gas to produce steam. These fuels are familiar, easy to use, compatible with common boiler technologies, require a relatively small installation area, and are quite simple to operate. But the important question is this really the lowest fuel cost option for producing 1 ton of steam? Based on DIVI's experience in Vietnam, we have observed that many developing industrial markets often follow a relatively similar trend. They initially use diesel oil or natural gas because of convenience, then gradually shift to coal or biomass fuels to reduce fuel costs. In Vietnam, around 2003, many factories mainly used diesel oil. Around 2007, coal became more widely used to reduce steam production costs. From 2009 onward, biomass fuels such as rice husk, wood chips, and sawdust started to be used more widely thanks to their low cost. By around 2014, combustion technology for rice husk, wood chips, and sawdust became increasingly common and more refined, especially for tropical fuels that typically have high moisture content. Today, biomass boiler technology in Vietnam has been significantly optimized, delivering clear benefits in lower fuel cost, stable operation, and the ability to meet environmental requirements when properly designed and operated. Today, with DIVI's many years of experience, we will analyze several common fuel options in Bangladesh to determine which fuel can help factories reduce fuel costs for steam production. This content is especially relevant for factories currently using diesel oil or natural gas and looking for a long-term solution to reduce steam costs. Before comparing different fuels, we first need a common basis for comparison: the fuel cost required to produce 1 ton of steam. The formula is very simple. Fuel cost per ton of steam equals fuel consumption per ton of steam times fuel price delivered to the factory. Fuel consumption depends on fuel calorific value, fuel moisture content, boiler efficiency, combustion technology, actual operation quality. Based on DIVI's boiler technology and practical operating experience, here's a reference comparison of fuel consumption for producing 1 ton of steam using several common fuels in Bangladesh. This table compares the reference fuel consumption for producing 1 ton of steam using 4 common fuels. Diesel requires about 63 liters per ton of steam. Natural gas requires about 78 cubic meters. Rice husk requires about 217 kilograms, while wood chips require about 265 kilograms per ton of steam, based on their respective NCV values and reference boiler efficiencies. You can see that diesel oil and natural gas have lower consumption in liters or cubic meters compared with rice husk and wood chips. This is normal because diesel oil and natural gas have higher calorific values. However, lower fuel consumption does not necessarily mean lower cost. To know which fuel is the most cost-effective, we must multiply the fuel consumption by the actual fuel price at the point of use. Next, let's look at the reference fuel prices in Bangladesh. Please note that fuel prices can vary depending on location, transportation distance, fuel preparation, moisture content, and overall fuel quality. Now let's take a look at the following table. In this comparison, natural gas refers to pipeline natural gas. If a factory uses LPG, CNG, or LNG supplied by truck or cylinders, the calculation should be adjusted based on the actual fuel price, unit of measurement, and heating value. Based on reference data from DIVI's local partners in Bangladesh, this comparison uses wood chips at 8 Bangladeshi taka per kilogram and raw rice husk at 5, 8, and 10 Bangladeshi taka per kilogram. Please note that rice husk sticks and rice husk briquettes are processed biomass fuels and should not be treated the same as raw rice husk. Now let's combine fuel consumption with fuel price to calculate the direct fuel cost of producing 1 ton of steam. Based on this comparison, diesel oil has the highest direct fuel cost. Natural gas is significantly cheaper than diesel, provided the factory has a pipeline connection and receives the industrial gas tariff. Wood chips offer a lower fuel cost than diesel and can also be more economical than natural gas when a new gas connection costs around 40 BDT per standard cubic meter. Rice husk can provide the lowest fuel cost, but only when the factory is located near rice growing areas or rice mills and can secure a competitive delivered price. At a delivered price of 5 to 8 BDT per kilogram, the fuel cost is only about 1,085 to 1,736 BDT per ton of steam. However, if the delivered price increases to around 10 BDT per kilogram, the fuel cost rises to about 2,170 BDT per ton, nearly the same as wood chips. If the delivered rice husk price exceeds 10 BDT per kilogram, wood chips may become the better choice because they generally offer a more stable supply and are suitable for a wider range of industrial locations. These figures represent the direct fuel cost of producing 1 ton of steam. While fuel is typically the largest operating expense, it is not the only cost to consider. When evaluating an actual investment project, other operating costs must also be included, such as electricity, labor, water treatment chemicals, maintenance, ash handling, equipment depreciation, and environmental compliance. When selecting a biomass fuel, cost is only one factor. Supply stability is just as important. In many regions, wood chips offer a more stable and widely available fuel supply. They can be sourced from plantation forests, forestry residues, bark, branches, sawdust, and wood processing waste. Rice husk is different. As a byproduct of rice milling, its availability and delivered price depend heavily on the distance between the rice mills and the factory. Factories located near rice-growing areas can often purchase rice husk at a much lower cost. When rice husk is available at around 5 to 8 Bangladeshi taka per kilogram, it offers one of the lowest fuel costs for steam production. However, if the delivered price rises above 10 Bangladeshi taka per kilogram, wood chips often become the more economical option. For most factories, wood chips should be considered the primary biomass fuel because of their broader availability and more stable supply. Rice husk is an excellent regional option where a reliable local supply is available. Here's the key takeaway. Low-cost fuel doesn't always mean low-cost steam. To achieve the lowest steam production cost, factories need the right boiler technology and proper operation. Now let us take a more specific example. Assume a factory in Bangladesh is using 150,000 liters of diesel oil per month to produce steam. With a diesel price of 115 BDT per liter, the monthly fuel cost will be 150,000 times 115 equals 17,250,000 BDT per month. Based on a consumption rate of 63 liters of diesel oil per ton of steam, 150,000 liters per month is equivalent to approximately 150,000 divided by 63 equals 2,381 tons of steam per month. If the factory switches to rice husk or wood chips, the estimated fuel quantity and reference cost will be as follows. If a factory switches from diesel oil to wood chips, it can save approximately 12.2 million BDT per month, or about 146.4 million BDT per year. At a rice husk price of 5 Bangladeshi taka per kilogram, fuel cost savings can reach approximately 14.67 million Bangladeshi taka per month, or about 176 million BDT per year. Even at 8 BDT per kilogram, rice husk still offers substantial savings of approximately 13.12 million BDT per month, or about 157.4 million BDT per year. These are significant savings for any factory currently using diesel oil to produce steam. They can reduce operating costs, shorten the payback period for a new boiler system, improve profitability, and strengthen long-term competitiveness. At this point, many people may ask, if rice husk and wood chips are so inexpensive, why are many factories still using diesel oil or natural gas? The reason is that diesel oil and natural gas have several advantages. First, diesel/natural gas boiler systems require a small installation area. Second, operation is simple. Third, the system is clean and does not generate ash. Fourth, the technology is very common and easy to use. Fifth, automation is high and does not require many workers for fuel handling. Pipeline natural gas is a competitive option, but not every factory in Bangladesh has access to pipeline gas or industrial gas tariffs. For factories without pipeline gas, or those relying on diesel oil, LPG, CNG, or LNG, delivered by truck or cylinders, the economics are very different. In these situations, biomass fuels such as wood chips and rice husk can become highly attractive options for reducing steam production costs. For rice husk and wood chips, if a factory wants stable operation, fuel savings, complete combustion, and good environmental control, fluidized bed boiler technology is one of the most suitable options. A fluidized bed boiler is suitable for many types of small-sized solid fuels with variable moisture content and relatively low calorific value. This technology can achieve a high level of automation in fuel feeding, air supply, and steam pressure control. If properly designed and operated, the system can help fuel burn more stably, save more fuel, and control flue gas emissions better. This is the key difference. If a factory only looks at the price of rice husk or wood chips without choosing the right boiler technology, It may face many problems: incomplete combustion, boiler not achieving rated capacity, steam pressure fluctuation, high CO and flue gas, difficult dust control, flue gas path blockage, increased maintenance cost, production interruption. Therefore, choosing the fuel is only the first step. More importantly, the factory must choose the right boiler technology for that specific fuel. When sourced sustainably, biomass fuels such as rice husk and wood chips can help reduce fossil carbon emissions compared with diesel oil and natural gas. However, using biomass alone does not guarantee environmental performance. A biomass boiler still generates flue gas during operation. To achieve good environmental performance, the boiler must be properly designed and properly operated. Factories should carefully control key operating parameters, including dust emissions, carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides, fuel moisture content, the balance between fuel feeding and combustion air, and the performance of the dust collection system. The bottom line is this: biomass fuel offers excellent environmental potential, but only when it's combined with the right boiler technology, an effective flue gas treatment system, and proper operating practices. Next, let's look at the biggest challenge of biomass boiler systems. One important consideration when using fluidized bed boilers with rice husk or wood chips is the space required for the complete boiler system. Compared with diesel or natural gas boilers, biomass boiler systems require a much larger installation area because additional equipment is needed. Boiler installation area, combustion chamber, fuel feeding system, fuel storage area, dust treatment system, ash collection area, vehicle access for fuel delivery. A diesel or natural gas boiler typically requires a boiler house height of about 5 meters. In contrast, a fluidized bed biomass boiler usually requires a height of approximately 9 to 11 meters, depending on boiler capacity and system configuration. The required installation area covers the complete boiler system, including supporting facilities and fuel storage for approximately 3 to 7 days of operation. Therefore, before switching from oil or gas to biomass fuels such as wood chips or rice husk, every factory should carefully evaluate the available installation space. Based on all the analysis we've covered, the most effective long-term solution is not to rely on a single fuel. Instead, factories should invest in a multi-fuel fluidized bed boiler capable of burning both wood chips and rice husk. When rice husk is available at a competitive price, especially around 5 to 8 BDT per kilogram, it can be prioritized to achieve the lowest fuel cost. When rice husk becomes expensive or difficult to source, the system can easily switch to wood chips, which generally offer a broader and more stable supply. The boiler can also be equipped with a natural gas or diesel burner as a backup. If biomass fuel is unavailable, too wet, or does not meet quality requirements, the factory can continue operating with gas or diesel, avoiding steam interruptions and maintaining production. Once biomass fuel becomes available again, the system can switch back to wood chips or rice husk to minimize fuel costs. This is the key advantage of a multi-fuel fluidized bed boiler: greater fuel flexibility, lower operating costs, stable production, and stronger long-term profitability. However, biomass is not the right solution for every factory. If a factory has limited installation space, lacks a stable local fuel supply, does not have trained operators, or has a small and intermittent steam demand, diesel, oil, or pipeline natural gas may still be the better choice. Before making an investment decision, every factory should carefully evaluate 4 key factors. First, actual steam demand. Second, available installation space. Third, the fuel source and the delivered fuel price. The fuel supply should be stable throughout the year, with sufficient quantity, consistent quality, controllable moisture, and reliable backup suppliers. Fourth, the boiler technology. The boiler must be designed for the selected fuel. If continuous steam is required, the factory should also consider a backup solution, such as a diesel oil or natural gas burner, to reduce the risk of production interruption when biomass fuel is temporarily unavailable. When these 4 factors are carefully evaluated, switching from oil or gas to wood chips or rice husk can create significant financial benefits for the factory. To summarize, if we focus only on direct fuel costs per ton of steam, wood chips and rice husk are 2 biomass fuels with strong potential to reduce steam production costs compared with diesel oil. For most factories, wood chips are the preferred biomass fuel because they offer a broader supply network and are suitable for a wider range of industrial locations. Rice husk is an excellent option for factories located near rice growing areas or rice mills, especially when it can be purchased at around 5 to 8 Bangladeshi taka per kilogram. However, when the delivered price exceeds about 10 BDT per kilogram, wood chips often become the more economical choice. The key message of this video is simple: Low-cost fuel does not automatically mean low-cost steam. The right fuel must be matched with the right boiler technology to achieve low operating costs, stable production, and long-term reliability. For many factories in Bangladesh, a multi-fuel, fluidized bed boiler offers the greatest flexibility. It allows the factory to use the most economical biomass fuel available while keeping natural gas or diesel as a reliable backup whenever needed. In the end, fuels may change, but the right boiler system gives the factory the flexibility to stay in control of steam costs. If you'd like to learn how a fluidized bed boiler works, simply scan the QR code on the screen or follow the link in the video description. If your factory is currently using diesel oil or natural gas for steam production, DIVI can help evaluate your steam demand, calculate your fuel cost per ton of steam, and recommend the most suitable boiler solution. Our goal is not simply to change your fuel, it's to help you reduce steam costs, improve operational reliability, and build a more competitive factory for the future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.